Good morning. Oops, a little early, little leaf man. Happy Monday, everyone. How are you? We're here to set the week with a core integrating bounce. So we're gonna start using your rebounder as our mat, and then we are going to move into some bouncing in the second part of the class. In the event that your rebounder just isn't big enough to support your body in a way that feels comfortable, please feel free to do everything that we do on the rebounding mat on the floor. That's always an option for you. In the meantime, good morning, Joy. I saw you pop in over here. I just want to take a moment. I'm kind of moving away for a second away from the plant of the week for a couple reasons. One, I'm running out of plants, which is shocking. I know, I'm running out of plants to focus. A lot of them are connected to things. So I'll have to keep doing some shorts and show you what else is in the studio, etc. And if you do sign up for my newsletter on Jenna-Zaffino.com, I do a plant of the week every week, and I'll show you what mine is. So this week it was clematis, because I planted my clematis over my archway out in my backyard, and I'm so excited for it to come up. It's a little early. Normally in Chicago I don't do it until Memorial Day, but we're gonna keep our fingers crossed, yes? But we are gonna focus on a movement focus of the week. There's a question that goes on with that focus, and it is, how will you use your movement practice to explore taking risks? Now, I'm not talking about jumping off of a building with a bungee or a parachute or anything like that. I'm talking about calculated risks that can help you just better understand your ability level, what you're prepared for, and maybe where you might have a few gaps that you're wanting to fill in. So we'll just kind of focus on that today and this week as you move your body. You know, you might consider doing a few risk-taking activities like pushing your pace a little to see where your heart rate goes to. Maybe you lift a weight that's a little heavier this week. Maybe you try to engage in a focus practice for a little longer. It's totally up to you. All right, let's get started. In the comments, I had put down that you need a pillow or a ball for this one. It's just something that you can squeeze between your legs. And then also, I want to just note that I've been dealing with so much asthma lately, and sometimes my voice just goes away, and I'm fully inhaled this morning. But if a couple times, that's where it's coming from. Such is life, right? All right, let's go ahead and have a seat down onto our rebounder. And before we come on to our backs, we just want to do a little bit of breathing here. So if you have your ball or your pillow, just hold it in your hands. And we're just gonna reach the arms up overhead as we lift and stretch out of the waist. A big breath in. And then exhaling all the way down. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you both for being here always. If you don't have a ball or a pillow, you can always just lift your arms up. This is in an effort to bring some space between our ribs and our hips, so we get a lot of good breathing here. We're just using the ball as a little distractor. Let's go a couple more times. Lift and exhale. We got a kind of a funky playlist to start this morning. Hope you enjoy it. One more. Exhaling as we bring the ball back down to center. You're going to take it in one hand or the other. Just pull it back. Bring your elbow back, feel your shoulder blade reach, and then reach it all the way forward. And then we'll do the opposite. Pull it back and reach it all the way forward, starting to engage into some of our tissues around our back, starting to engage into our breath. Excuse me. It's just a lovely season, spring, isn't it? I think it's trying to kill me. It's like between the allergy medicine that dehydrates you, the never-ending breath challenges, and then just like pollen in general. Good, let's do one more here. Excellent, all right. Reach your arms forward with your ball or your pillow. Take yourself all the way down to the mat. If you've come in late, you can always use your mat on the floor to do the next piece. If you'd like, you can bring your heels up onto the platform or the frame, and then we're gonna go ahead and place the ball or the pillow right between your knees, just above, higher on your inner thigh than the knee bones themselves. So from here, as we press into the ball with our inner thighs, we're gonna start to see if we can cultivate a sense of engagement across the lower portion of our abdomen. it's almost like you could pull your two hip bones together. And that's not a natural thing that humans do on a regular basis. So if you're like, I have no idea how to do that, no kidding. It's an image. And you can also think of it like if you were to try to tighten a belt one notch deeper. So it's that sort of connecting inward, that everything from the outside pulls into the center as we squeeze, and then it also gets to release back to its original shape, okay? So we're gonna breathe out if possible as we squeeze in, and then breathe in as we release. And these are pretty slow to start. So let's take a 4 count, bring in, 2, 3, find it, find it, find it, find it, out, 2, 3, and 4, but don't drop it. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3. So here's what I try to think of. Again, for those of you who are new, I've had a couple of abdominal surgeries, and so that sometimes leaves me with numbness, like I don't know what's happening. So I try to think about what's underneath my breakfast. That might sound a little wild, but like the tissues, maybe the organs, the muscles, like it's not about tensing on the top. It's about finding a connection to what we call the inner unit. So keep pressing, keep releasing. And the inner unit is made up of the front, the back, the sides, and it activates during breath. So what I'm trying to work on here is really, as I exhale, I'm trying to think of, can I get deep? Can I activate the support systems that are closest to the spine? That might mean everything to you, it might mean nothing to you. If all else fails, just keep squeezing and exhaling. One more time, we're gonna go in and release. Now we're gonna keep the ball there for a moment. Let's say that you're not squeezing it at your most intense effort, but maybe like 50%, so it doesn't drop and you're still engaged. We're gonna press the arms down as you lift your hips up to open them up. And then go for like a glute bridge, so your back is flat and your hips hinge or fold to come back. Pressing through the heels, reach your knees over your toes and lower down. And so the same thing applies. Often when we see classes on core conditioning, we think lots of crunches, planks, and more crunches. And the fact is that our core is 3-dimensional. The muscles that provide us with balance, support, breath, stability, and ability are deep. The crunchers are important too, but the whole is more than the sum of its parts. So crunches all day long are not necessarily going to get us the support that we want or need. So we're going to really progress systematically is the word I'm looking for. Good. All right, we're gonna do one more press up. Find the top level of your press, and then I'd like you to just let your hips drop maybe a third of the way down to the mat. And keeping your legs squeezed into the ball, start to shift side to side. For those of you who took my Happy Hips class last week, this is the place where you're gonna start to feel a little shifting and reaching and moving as if your broomstick was right along the top. So we're just starting to open up a little bit of the spine and hopefully get a little more motion and lotion in those spinal joints. Again, at any point in time, if you want to bring this down to the mat, that's all good. Let's go for 4 more shifts. You might think about rolling the ball a little. That sometimes can be interesting. And then from here, come back to center, curl your tail under, and roll all the way down to the mat. And then let's just stay heavy in your pelvis. Next, we're gonna bring our legs up with the ball. If you want to hold your hands behind your legs for a little extra support, go for it. Otherwise, you're squeezing into the ball for that support. Shoulders stay against the mat. And then just let your hips tilt to the right or to the left Squeeze into the ball and take your legs as far as you can go without that opposite shoulder coming up. So if you're going left, your right shoulder stays down. And then you're going to take a deep breath in, squeeze the ball, and pull yourself back to center from the center. All right, let's go over to the other side. Reaching it over, keeping a nice hold onto the ball, just exploring the twist. How far can you go without that shoulder coming up? And then squeeze into the ball and pull back to center. Let's go to the other side. Reaching over, engaging, press and squeeze as you come back to center. And again, to the side. And think about, as you squeeze into the ball, can you start to remember the lower, deeper abdominals, back, sides, almost like everything in the middle squeezes around a ball in your belly. Good. Let's go 3 more. So over to one side. I like to use an exhale on the way up. Sometimes that can help. Pulling it all the way back in. And last one. All the way back in and lower down. You can just put the ball off to your side for a moment. If you want to twist it out a little bit more, get a little hip stretch, go for that. All right, so now from here, let's bring our legs back up to tabletop. You have the choice of bringing your hands either or behind your thighs or in front of them against your knees. And again, this is going to be subtle but deep, so you'll feel it even if you're not doing a whole lot of moving. You're going to press your hands into your thighs and your thighs into your hands. And I want you to do it so much so that you can roll your pelvis back and lift your tail just off the mat, just a hair, just a gram. We're holding it there for 3, for 2, and for 1, relax, hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Again, just a little more low belly integration here. Let's bring it up. Hands onto the knees. Press knees into hands, hands into knees. Tilt your hips back when you're ready. Take a little weight out of the tip of your tail and just breathe there for 3. Keep pressing, equal pressure through your hands and legs. And relax. Release your tail, hug your knees into your chest. You can make a couple circles around your low back. Yeah, real deal. Here we go, last time. Bring it up. Hands against thighs. Press your knees into your hands, hands into your knees, and push so much that you can tuck that tail under and stay. This time we go for 5. And 4, find a happy place. 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands behind your legs, rock yourselves up to a seated position, almost there. All right, good. Now, if you have a pillow, wonderful. If you don't have a pillow, if you have a ball, we're gonna place the ball behind your back like so. If you have a pillow, what you can do is actually place it over the edge of your rebounder so it makes the frame not quite as hard. So it goes right under here on your back. And what we're gonna do is just take a little gentle back bend over the edge and then come back up. So we are gonna do a little crunching, but we're gonna do it with the idea of mobility in mind. So if you have a ball, place it behind your mid to upper back, kind of below your shoulder blades. If your pillow is there, it's to the edge of the frame. We wanna feel the weight of our pelvis just dropping to the mat. And then we're gonna take a back bend over. And then what we wanna think of is sinking the rib cage down to bring the head, neck, and shoulders all the way up. So it's about lengthening our spine back and over, opening the chest, breathing, and then good. And I'm gonna move myself back so I get a little more range, which is also part of it if you've got it. Yeah, so the ball helps support here, helps bring us into a back bend, but instead of lifting from the head, you press through the backs of your ribs to help you come up. So right through the back here. We've worked on a couple of ball cues, as they are, before, and this one is back to ball to bungee or mat as you come forward. Good. Big breath in, find a back bend, open up the front body, breathe deep, and then sink it down. One more time. Reach it, feel the stretch, and then drop your weight to bring your head forward. We're gonna bring if I'm going to my left, my right hand is across my left leg, just a little back and a little forward, a little back and forward. If you're working on the ball, I'm curling up almost to where the ball comes back to its original shape, almost. If you're working on a pillow, think of allowing the pillow to get fluffy as you reach up. Even if you don't get quite there, it's just the idea that helps you work right into your edge. This is maybe the risky piece today for most of us. Good. Go for 4. Go for 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Let's sweep that arm behind your head, going right to the other side. Little back, little up. Good. Keeping your hips dropped down, using your breath. And I'm always looking in these sorts of exercise to see, all right, what's the least amount I can do with my neck and shoulders and the most amount I can do with my midsection? Because we all like to outsource from different places. Neck and shoulders are a popular place. But if we can kind of pull the ribs to the hips and help ourselves out a little bit more, here's our last one. It can be really great. Come with your hands behind your head. One more time, take a nice long extension back. Open up your belly. Good. And then wrap it and squeeze it down. Let's come all the way up to the top. And then we'll take the ball. I don't think we'll need it again, but just in case, let's leave it close by. And let's come over onto our hands and knees. From here, we're gonna I always like to make some space for my hands by moving the bungees, but also we'll remember to move them back. We're gonna tuck your toes against the mat, if possible, giving us a little stretch underneath the toes, and then just round the spine. Do a couple cat-cows so we can feel the stretch of the back. And then as the shoulders come down the back, the stretch of the front. Good, and again, curling, deepening. Reaching through and just checking in to see if we can feel even weight on both knees and both hands as much as we can. Sometimes we have a little bias there. Good. All right, let's do one more to round. Your toes are tucked, ideally. We're gonna push into the hands, push into the feet, and either the knees just get super light on the mat, or if you can hover them up, we're gonna hover them up for a moment. And we're just gonna stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower the knees gently to the mat. Release, take a nice long stretch up the front. Let's go one more time. Here we go, rounding over, lifting up from the middle, curl your tail, and when you're ready, either lighten the knees or lift them off. Just an inch though. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower all the way down. Release. Good, stretch. And come back to center. Let's find a nice long, what we might call a centered spine or a neutral spine. If you want to untuck your toes, you absolutely can. We're just going to take one leg back behind us up to hip height or close as you can. Touch it down to the mat and then take it out to the side to hip level and bring it all the way down. Let's go again. So our core work starts to support us in eliminating a whole lot of weight shifting or position changing from our spine. In other words, the only thing that's moving right now are our legs, our collective legs. Bringing it out to the side and pressing it around to the back. Such a killer, y'all. Good, reaching it out. Ooh. The breathing, I mean, not the exercise. Not yet, at least. We haven't gotten to the killer point yet. Good. Reach it. Keep pushing down into the frame so your collarbones are wide, your back is wide, your ribs are wide. And again, we have 3 more. Reach it out. Reach it back. And 1 more to the side. Good. From here, we're going to take that leg and bring it forward. Stand it down, and then just take a hip stretch for a moment. Bring your hands back down to the frame. Shift your weight forward into your front foot. Tuck your back toe, and let's see if we can bring ourselves forward into a standing position. Now, however you need to get there is fine, okay? The point is we're balancing on that front leg. Hands come either behind your head, on your shoulders, on your hips, and all your weight is forward. We're just gonna slide that leg in, slide it back on the frame. Bring it in, bring it back. Think of how you're managing your torso and just pushing and pulling. In Pilates, we call this exercise a scooter. So the goal is that we keep our torso organized in such a way that the shape of the spine doesn't change a whole bunch when we press back. So we're just pulling in and reaching out. Pulling in and reaching out. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna reach it back, slide, hands come down gently, find yourself back on the mat, and then bring your leg around to stand there. All right, little balanced. Ready for the other side. We're gonna lift it to hip height, lower it down. We're gonna bring it out to the side. Remember, everything else stays very organized here amongst the shoulders, the torso, your pelvis. You're just isolating the movement to your leg, moving backward and also to the side. Good. You know, the movement teachers can be really critical of each other too. And I always have that critical voice in my mind, just the culture that I was brought up in as a movement teacher, where people will nitpick about how specific the movement is to the leg. We're gonna just do the best we can right now because it's Monday and we're breathing almost, and we're living and we're here. We're not gonna put too much pressure on ourselves. If your chosen risk today is to make that leg very specific, then by all means go there. If you're doing the best you can, maybe that's the risk that you're taking today, and that's okay. Good. How many of you are feeling the leg we just worked? Surprise, let's go 3. All the way out. Good. And up. And out, and then 1 more in each direction. I know I counted that a little differently on this side than the other. Woo! Good. All right, move your hands, sneak it around, step it forward, find your stretch, find your focus, and then let's shift the weight forward. We're gonna tuck the toe, try to come to standing, use what you got, hands behind the head or shoulders or hips. We're bending and we're stretching. This one's a little more challenging to me because of all the foot issues that I've had. So I'm just kind of a walking mess, huh? I'm just kidding. You know, this is the life. Like, there's no chance that I'm gonna stand here live and pretend like everything is easy. You know, when you're a certain age, you go through some stuff in your body. So it's not that we're complaining about it, but we're acknowledging it so we don't push beyond the point where it's supported, yeah? Sometimes when you have surgeries or injuries, you need a little extra work, a little extra focus in those places. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and this time we're gonna come up and I want you to just stand, all the way to the top. Do what you need to do to come up to standing. All right, let's replace our bungees if you move them. If you need a quick drink of water, let's get it. Quick plant inspection. Always. Come on up to the top onto your rebounder. We're gonna go a little wider than hip socket width so you have a nice stable position. And then just find yourself doing a couple of footprints here, just shifting side to side. Feel how everything is organizing. I really like that word organizing because it does infer that we're always in a state of change. We're always in a state of flux, right? We're always organizing around one leg or the other, one posture or another. So once you feel like you've come to a place where both feet are balanced, we're just gonna roll to the inner edge of your left foot and the outer edge of your right foot. A little kind of ski action, pushing heavily into both, down into the bungees for a stretch as well as an engagement. I'm gonna just take my hands to my hips, and then we're gonna go the other way, pushing down into the outer edge of one foot, the inner edge of the other. Good. And then back to center. Good. Just focus on that ankle mobility. And all the way to the other side. Good. All right, coming back into center, let's take your arms out to a T. I'd like you just to push down into the balls of your feet, and if that makes your heels get a little lighter on the mat, and that's enough, awesome. If you can lift your heels up and stay organized, that's okay too. We're just gonna try a couple times. So actively push the balls of your feet down, make your heels lighter, either rise up on the balls of your feet for a little balance, or just make those heels lighter. We'll go again, push down to lift up. Lower. It's a very unstable surface, but I'm not mad about it. Yeah. Good. Let's go one more time. Good. Now relax, unlock your knees. I want you to try twice more, and let's remember what it felt like to squeeze the ball between our legs. I'm not asking you to put your knees together, but just to activate those muscles. So maybe you can imagine the balls between your ankle bones and like you were gonna slide your feet together on the rebounder, and can you feel how that turns on your muscles of your inner line of your leg? Yeah, so squeeze and then push through the balls of the feet, and does that give you a little more strength to lift up with? Sometimes the strength is overpowering. Let's try it again. Yeah, maybe one more time. Good. Yeah, and lower down. Yeah, my ankles got a little shaky there, but that's good. It's a nice little adjustment. As long as they're not hurting and there's no risk of injury, we're good. All right, so last little focus on balance before we start bouncing. Place weight into your left foot. Let's take the right ball of the foot forward, unlock the left knee, and we're just gonna flex the foot off the mat and then touch the ball of the foot back down, okay? Check in, make sure your heel is down on the left side. Flex it up, put it back down. Flex it up, good, put it back down. So that's the action. Once you've got that action understood, then I want you to see if you can just allow your body to organize around center. Yeah, good. No undue tension. The hip helps, the placement of your foot helps. Sometimes the tongue can help. Good. All right, you can stay with this, or if you'd like to bring it up, and then arms to the side, we're gonna lift it up, lower to hover or to touch. You get to choose. What is the appropriate risk for you to take today? That's the idea, that is the question. Lift it up, lower it down, lift it up, do a little bit of choreography. Sometimes it just leaves you, you know? Whew. All right, lift and lower. Let's go 4. It's that fun leg. 3, 2. Good. Can you keep the last one up? Now, if you're up with me, stay up. You can always just be tapped. If we're tapped, we're gonna slide the foot back as we take a hip hinge forward. If you're up, you're gonna start to reach it back. And we're just gonna do that. Hip hinge, reaching for the frame. Doing whatever you can to find the balance you need, helping yourself out along the way. Good. And then let's come all the way back up. Embracing the wobble. Coming to the top. Relaxing. Shake it out. Okay, let's go to the other foot. Plant down the right, toe on the left, hands on the hips if you like. We're gonna flex it up and tap it down. Flex it and tap it. This is our chance to let the body organize around that central axis. So how are you supporting yourself from the front, from the sides, from the back of your torso? Those of you who've been with me for quite a while, you might remember the torso works as a team, yeah? Front side, back side. Let's go for 4, and 3, 2, one more, hold it, and either keep it tapped down, keep going, or we're gonna try to lift it up, lower it all the way down. Lift it up, lower down, lift it up. Embrace that wobble. Keep dropping your weight, lifting through your center. Good. We're almost ready to bounce. You know when those snaps come up. Good. All right, one more. You're either on the ball of your foot on the mat or your knee is up. We're gonna take that hip hinge, reaching it back. Don't go too fast, Jenna. Embrace that wobble. Find it. Bring it back up to center. Good. Release. Shifting side to side. Keep those legs straight. Little kind of tick-tock. Not the app, the movement. Good. Woo! As we go side to side here, can you bring your inner unit along with you? Can you feel that weight shift? Yeah. Everything is strong in the middle as we shift side to side. Good. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're gonna take it into a bounce balance, but with the heels down, so we're just running kind of in place. Heels are down, pushing, pushing, pushing. Same rules apply here. Guideposts. Keep yourself organized, front, back, and side. Good. Can you walk in a little closer? So just wider than hip width. Work yourself in the center and start to lift those heels. That's it. Good. All right, let's get into our bounce. Let's find a way of not abandoning the work we just did, which was subtle, but integrated, yeah? So we wanna be able to bring the core work along with us as we get into the more mobile work that we do. We're gonna do 4 singles, 2 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and double, double. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, double, double. Side, 2, 3, 4, double, double. And 1, 2, 3, 4, double, double. Do it again. Yes, double and double, yes. Start to swing those arms. 2 more times like this. Double, double, and last one. And double, and double. And just back to your singles as we change our song. Nice. All right. So let's bring both feet down. Let's just take a lymph bounce. Don't worry about the cadence just yet. I just want you to feel that you are moving up and down. Think about that little engagement that we had with the ball between the legs. How does that help to activate or animate your awareness around your center, yeah? Arms just down by the side as you bounce straight up and down. Soft knees, supported through the middle. Good. All right, we're gonna take this over to the right. So maybe we can just have our hands on our hips, maybe. That might work for right now. So we're exploring a little different resistance through the bungees. Still organized, supported front to back. Good, we're gonna take it over to the left. Here we go. And just find it here. Notice the different sensation through the bottom of your feet. How do you keep organized? Good, bring it back to center. Arms down by your side. And then we're gonna take it front to the front of the rebounder. Reach your arms forward. How does it change as your arms reach forward, yeah? Now let's take it back to the back of the rebounder. Be careful, know where you are. Good. All right, come back to center. So keep bouncing at whatever pace you like. We're gonna go side to side and then front to back. We go to the right. I'm gonna do these arms here, over to the left. Good. Make your way to the front, reach them out. Make your way to the back. That's it. Keep it connected. To the right. Yes. To the left, swing. Excellent. To the front, holding strong. To the back, a little bit quicker. Over to the right, we go right. And left. And front. And back. Again, right, left, front, back. Again, right, left, front. Let's see if we can go a little faster. Right, left, front, back. Right, left, front, back. Right, left, front, back. Go for it. Let it be lofty. Keep your knees soft. Move your body around. Good. Stay at a comfortable tempo for you. Or we can try to put this at tempo. Ready, set, go. Right, front, right. Oh, it gets smaller. No more core connection. Legs, right? 2 more. Last one. Good. Give me a high bounce in the middle. Just a little fun exploration. And for the sake of balancing it out, let's go left, right, front, back a couple times. Left, right, front, and back. Good. Excellent. Good. We are kind of closing in on the last piece. And again, today's class, much less about cardio, much more about organization. Good. Let's go faster if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Give me 4 more. 4 and 3. Good. 2 and 1. Good. And come to the center. Come to the center and find a high bounce. Bring your legs as close as you can and fashion yourself into the shape of a pencil. Okay? Long and sharp. That's what we're after right now. With a little bit of inner thigh engagement, staying connected to the center of the mat, letting the mat bounce us a bit, reaching through the crown of your head. That's That's it. Nice and strong up through the middle. Good. Stay right here. This is a core bounce. You may or may not feel it as such. It's that ability to hold your space and your shape. Makes everything turn on a little bit more. Good. All right, calm this bounce down a bit. Let everything release. Let your heels press down. Widen your feet. Good. All right, sifting it out. Let's find our way back to a nice stable position. We're going to take a deep breath in, lifting up off the waist, lowering all the way down. And again. Good. So remember, there's aesthetic core work, and then there's core work that is integrative. The aesthetic core work is the stuff that makes the things show up, and it often looks like, is accompanied by, let's release all the way down, a very restrictive diet, in all honesty, and a very focused, resisted-based training. And what that means, what not a lot of people talk about, let's come on down, is that if you're working for aesthetics, you are giving up a part of your life to focus on that aesthetic, because especially if your DNA hasn't been laid out as such where you're going to look like the picture of fitness as it is in the media, you have to work for it. But there's no should around it. If you choose to work for it, it means you give up part of your life. If that's why you're here on this channel, there are 3 million other channels that will do that for you. And I love you, and I send you off with a good hug and like, go work on those aesthetics if that is your goal. Here, we're focusing on integrating these skills and these strategies into our life. Let's take our knees out. And on this channel, life is messy, it's imperfect, it has hiccups, it doesn't always look like we want it to, but we show up anyway because it's the best choice we have, yeah? All right, come on back to center, take your hands back and lift up. So what you'll find with today's work is that while it's not as flashy as a 30-minute smash 'em, sculpt 'em, slash 'em, blash 'em abs class, your body actually often will respond better to this kind of work. Let's go up and stand up. You know what? I used my hands on that one. I'm gonna do it over again because it was messy. Let's go all the way up because we can stand up without our hands. All right, my friends, thank you for being here again on this Monday. I appreciate you. I hope you got a little bit of what you needed. Remember to ask your question, why did the moves matter to you today? And again, for anybody new to the channel, we ask this so that we can continue to download good reasons why movement supports our life and leads us to the things that we want more of. So very excited to see you on Thursday this week. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you very soon.